So the first thing to do is to press the y equals button and type in the function. Pause the video and just think where I've gone wrong. Excellent. I missed out the divide sign, so you need to put a divide sign and then put this over x squared. Then close the brackets, then use the large minus sign, 20x. We're then going to have a look at the graph. But what we want to do is it to be between particular bounds. So we're going to change the window so that it's between -5 and 2. And the y's will be between -100 and 150. And because we're specifically talking about minus numbers, we need to make sure we use the little minus. Go back to the graph. Now what you need to do is to be able to sketch this in the exam. And I'm going to talk through each of the steps you need. The first thing you need to be able to do is draw an axis. Now you're going to notice I'm going to struggle a little bit drawing an axis here on my little screenshot. Make sure you label, first of all, the min and max number on both the x and y. As well as this, you need to make sure you label the x and the y axes. So looking at the question, the smallest y number is -100 and the largest y number is 150. So we're going to put these onto the graph. Then we're going to do the same with the x numbers. The smallest number is -5 and the largest number is going to be 2. Please note that it does not need to be drawn to scale. This is a sketch. Now the last thing I'm doing is adding an x and a y. Even though in this diagram I put them in the middle of the page, please make sure you put them on the outside where possible. The horizontal axis is always x, the vertical axis is always y. This will give you 1 mark in the exam. This is really easy. The next mark you get is going to be for the general shape of the graph. So let's have a look at the general shape. We can see it's to do with 2 curves. And what you should notice about these kind of graphs is that they never touch the y-axis. So make sure your graph is not touching the y-axis. So here is part of the curve on the right hand side, so one of the curves, and then we're going to draw the second curve on the left hand side. This will give you your second mark. Now you must be thinking, well, what's my third and my fourth mark? Well, you'll notice 2 very distinct features about this. Firstly, the x-intercept, and in the picture it's closer to the edge of the screen than it is to the y-axis, and then secondly, the minimum. So to get your third and your fourth mark, you need to make sure you are drawing your x-intercept in roughly the correct place. Is it closer to the outside of the screen or is it closer to the y-axis? And the minimum in this instance is much closer to the y-axis than the outside. Now, the last 2 questions are done on the calculator. Find the zeros. So the 0 is the x-intercept. So press second calc. And we are going to go to find the 0. So we're going to go over to where it crosses the x-axis. We're going to select to the left of where it crosses. Then we're going to select to the right of where it crosses. And then in the middle roughly. And that is our x-intercept. So this is also our 0. Please note in the exam you will get a much nicer number than this. You won't get just such a horrible decimal. Now we're going to find the local minimum. This is called the local minimum because it's not the absolute minimum, but it is a minimum. So we'll press second calc and then press number 3, I believe, for the minimum. Again, we're going to do the same thing. To the left of the minimum, so that's the smallest point. To the right of the smallest point. And then somewhere in the middle. The calculate will calculate exactly where it is. Once again, another easy question. You write down the coordinates, the x, then the y in brackets with comma in between. And this is how you answer drawing functions on your ti84 calculator. And just to clarify, you will get much nicer numbers than this in the exam.